All right. Hey, we're back. But yeah, as I was saying, like, yeah, it was right when I was starting to like lose kind of hope. And then Ben is so classic for this as well. Like he always gives you like a week heads up, like no matter what. And I was like, dude, it's been a pandemic. Like you could give me more than a week, you know? And so I had to go into the to like my work and be like, hey, I'm going overseas, and they were just like, dude, absolutely, like live your dream. But so yeah, long story short, everyone's been doing their thing. I think we were so excited to see each other. Like it was amazing to just get to play music again and just hang, like the hang with that band is always so fantastic. So it's always just like nonstop laughter and just wonderful. But to learn these new, I mean, this new record is pretty magical. And I didn't play it a lot on this record because we did one session in Paris that I was involved with, which was the session, and then he did a lot of it up in New York. And so it was kind of like learning these crazy tunes,
Yeah.
and we got together and we looked at each other, we're like, oh my god, how, and he even knew, he's like, how are we going to learn these songs in like a week?
Yeah, he
But
seems like that type of guy who's like super, is he like, I'm guessing he's super laid back.
he's amazing, dude. He's the best dude. He's the most laid back person, but he can be very he knows what he wants,
Yeah.
and I think that's the thing that like some people read him the wrong way, where they think that he can be intense, and he's intense in that way because he gets very frustrated because he knows what he wants, and he's such a smart guy.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I think sometimes he gets very frustrated with like, because he can't just get it across easily.
Yeah.
But dude, I couldn't imagine a better boss. Like he's amazing, and just, I mean, I mean, if you're a fan, like he's just such a musical wizard. Like he's always trying to outdo himself. You know what I mean? Like he's like challenge himself and just sort of like, yeah, just make things wild.
He's like criminally underrated in this country.
Dude, it's nuts.
Were you a fan of like the whole time? Because I know he had a different drummer and a different bassist.
Different bass player, totally.
Yeah, because they were brothers. Yeah.
It was really funny. So when how I met Ben was through a band called Hiss Golden Messenger. And I basically got asked because, so I don't know if you know Matt McCon. He's one of my favorite drummers ever. He's the drummer for Bon Iver. And his wife was pregnant. And so Hiss Golden Messenger needed a drummer to go on this tour opening for Ben. And they asked me, he's like, yeah, do you want to like do this tour? I'm like, fuck yeah, I love Ben Howard. And nobody else in Hiss like knew of Ben, because Ben literally found out about Hiss Golden Messenger from seeing the like CD at his local like vinyl shop in Totnes. Like it was just one of those like weird random situations. And so I was the only one who knew Ben Howard because I had played one of his songs at a wedding once. I think it was like Black Flies, or probably, I don't know, who knows which one, but yeah, so like yeah, so I went into it being like, yeah, I know who Ben Howard is. And then the shows that we opened for him were like, it was just when, I forget where we were, was blowing up. So we were doing like these insane shows, and
that album rocks as well. I think that's
an insane record. I mean, to walk in and to be able to play those songs was just amazing. And he was just in such a intense spot, like personally. And I think I just kind of came in at the right time and like talked to him like a human. Like I think everyone around him was kind of just being yes people, or like just sort of dealing with how big he was getting. And I sort of walked in and was like, dude, do you want to talk, like just go have a drink and like chat? And I think that just like it spoke to him a lot. And yeah, and then I got an email, and he was like, dude, how would you feel about being in my band? I'm like, what? Like that's the most insane thing, and I was in a place in my life where like, I didn't have a significant other. I didn't have, anything going. I was single. I was just like, he's like, and he's like, dude, I'll give you 24 hours to think about it. And I think I called him back like 5 minutes later. I was like,
Yeah,
dude, yeah, it's
yeah,
100% on. Like, what a magical, I still pinch myself every time I get to hang with those guys. I mean, it's, and I think honestly, like you said, Ben is underrated, but like Mickey and Nat, dude, Nat is like, I think one of the best guitar players like in the world. Like he's just quietly like this
yeah.
amazing. I mean, every single person in that band is mint.
Yeah.
And I always am like, why would you guys, like, you guys could have easily gotten an English drummer. Like, why would you, why?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
would you
how
get some?
I've been so intrigued to know how that came about.
Yeah, man.
So that's like incredible because I wasn't
Yeah.
sure how big he was over there,
He's not, it's funny because he's not like nobody like every time I tell someone that I play with Ben Hart, they're like, who? I think over in the States, it's such a, and I'm always intrigued by that because like the bands that make it over in England from the States and then vice versa, like Oasis over here, like, yeah, they had a hit, but like over there, it's like insane. You know what I mean? Like
Cult level, yeah.
totally. And so, but I mean, we still play big gigs over here. Like we played like Radio City Music Hall and Red Rocks but his fans, and I think what he's doing with these newer records as well is he's keeping the people that want that like get it. He's like Dylan, I think. It's like
I think so too.
some people like don't get it and they're like, oh, I just want to hear Every Kingdom, or I want to hear I forget where we're or whatever. But like if you stick with him, you're gonna realize that he's insane. Like he'll like start playing a song like at practice and he'll be like, oh, this is just something I'm working on. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like you're the most like insane songwriter I've ever met. Like it's just, yeah, it never gets old, and it never is. I try to not let it get lost on me, like what I'm involved in and what I'm a part of. So